Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking. All right, so shout out to everybody who is in the building early. It is great to see each and every one of you. If you guys can hear me okay and everything is looking good on the screen, please give me a thumbs up or a radiation emoji in the chat. If you guys cannot hear me or things are looking bad, please give me a thumbs down or an angry face. While you guys are doing that, I'm going to shout out everybody that's in the building early, all right? Shout out to Sybil. Shout out to Miss Nisi. Shout out to my man DeAndre. Make sure y'all throw some like enforcers in the chat for DeAndre. I appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Volvo2 Love. Good to see you. Shout out to Miss Nisi for the off-rip ducats. Make sure y'all show Miss Nisi some love. Definitely appreciate you funding the organization.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Cash rules everything around me. Green, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
Definitely appreciate it. Shout out to DSB. Shout out to No Longer Asleep. Shout out to Black Spider. Black Spider always showing love with some off-rip ducats. Definitely appreciate it. Y'all already know what to do.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Cash rules everything around me. Green, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
Shout out to Tedra. What's good with it, Tedra? Miss Nisi says, when do you ever sleep, Rob? I told Torian today is hanging upside down day. Today is hanging upside down day. Shout out to Jesse. What's good with it, bro? All right. And I think that is everybody. All right. I think that's everybody. So make sure y'all smash that like button. Make sure y'all hit the bell. Shout out to David Brown. What's good with it, bro? Good to see you. Make sure you guys stay in the stream until the music is over at the end. It'll take you into the next live stream, which, believe it or not, it's not going to be that long from now. Now, we about to talk about J.D. Vance, all right? Because your boy, J.D. Vance, Mr. Appalachia, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, shout out to TD Media Group. TD Media Group said, Rob must have got fired. You streaming again. Man, I wish I did get fired. I wish I did get fired. And let me tell you something, bro. If I was fired, I wouldn't be streaming. I'd probably be streaming less, for real. Because if I got fired, I'd be having to be out there every day hustling, making actual money. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sybil for the off-rip ducats. I definitely appreciate it. Y'all know what to do. Make sure y'all show Sybil some love.
This is the hardest record out.
Get the money, y'all. There are poor people around.
I'm rich, biatch!
Silence. I ain't got no money, pa.
Definitely appreciate it. And shout out to Late Not Last. Good to see you here. So we got to talk about your boy J.D. Vance, because J.D. Vance went in on Kamala Harris. With some possible truth. Now check this out. TD said illegal immigrants must have taken your black job. Actually, illegal immigrants possibly inspired this live stream. Now, why am I going to say this? This live stream is sponsored by the Undocumented Bros. This stream is sponsored by the Undocumented Bros, and it's sponsored by the loose and lackadaisical border policies, only brought to you by the incompetent offices of Biden and Harris Esquire. Okay? The incompetent offices of Biden and Harris Esquire. Shout out to Miss Nisi, balling all the way out today. Matching Sybil. Definitely appreciate it. Make sure y'all please show some love, because like you guys know, these people make it possible.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
Get the money, y'all. There are poor people around.
I'm rich, biatch!
Yay, Matching Sybil to fund the organization. Definitely appreciate you. And organizing we are. So here's my question for you guys. What do you guys think the issue is, or the issues are, that J.D. Vance decided to harshly, possibly accurately critique Kamala Harris on? While you guys are guessing in the comment section, we're going to let it rip.
Look, we're here in Philadelphia to highlight the Americans who have suffered under Kamala Harris's policies, especially Kamala Harris's border policies. To remind you, she, on day one, suspended deportations, proposed mass amnesty for millions of illegal aliens. She stopped construction of the border wall, and she stopped the Remain in Mexico policy that kept a lot of Americans safe. Now, today, we're going to talk to a lot of Americans who have suffered and had children and loved ones who have died because of these border policies. It has led to record fentanyl overdoses in our country. It's led to a lot of migrant crime from people who shouldn't even be here. And it's, of course, driven up the price of housing for a lot of Americans who shouldn't have to compete with 20 million illegal aliens for scarce homes.
Now, let me ask you guys a question. What do you guys think about what he just said? Is what he's saying true, or is what he's saying false? And if you want to have any follow-up information on this type of topic here, I'm going to give you some places where you guys can go for reference information. My first recommendation, shout out to my man TD Media Group, who is in the chat. Make sure you guys check out his channel. Every time he does a video premiere, make sure that you guys watch it. Shout out to my man Torian Rain, who has the Migrant Madness series. Make sure you guys check that out. Also, make sure that you guys check out this channel with the videos called Undocumented Bros. And make sure you guys check out the channel Undocumented Bros and the channel called Undocumented. If you ever are doubting any of this kind of information about the migrants. All right. Shout out to TD. I think we got I think we got a preview of something that might come later. So are you telling me JD Vance destroyed woke presidential nominee Kamala Harris? I think that might be it. I think that might be what happened.
Obviously, the big news of the day is that Tim Walz has been nominated as the VP.
Shout out to John. What's good with it, bro?
Nominee, I should say, for Kamala
Shout
Harris.
out to Cameron. What's good with
it is it just highlights how radical Kamala Harris is. This is a person who listened to the Hamas wing of her own party and selecting a nominee. This is a guy who's proposed shipping more manufacturing jobs to China, who wants to make the American people more reliant on garbage energy instead of good American energy, and has proposed defunding the police just as Kamala Harris does. I think it's interesting, actually. They make an interesting tag team because, of course, Tim Walz allowed rioters to burn down Minneapolis in the summer of 2020, and then the few who got caught, Kamala Harris helped bail them out of jail. So it is.
Now here goes my question. What do you guys think about that? That's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. What I find interesting about this is that when it comes to that particular situation, JD Vance said what he said. But when it comes to that particular situation in Minneapolis, literally nobody ever talks about the Wolverine Watchmen and the Boogaloo Boys who were involved in a lot of those issues down at those Minneapolis police departments and were responsible for a lot of the things getting burned down. If you're not familiar with the Wolverine Watchmen are the group of individuals that was also linked to the attempted plot to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer. So check out what I'm saying. Look up Minnesota Wolverine Watchmen and Boogaloo Boys and leave in the comments what you find out.
It's more instructive for what it says about Kamala Harris, that she doesn't care about the border, she doesn't care about crime, she doesn't care about American energy, and most importantly, she doesn't care about the Americans.
Shout out to Greed. Shout out to Willie Tress.
Questions that want to hit the road and go to this press conference. Yeah.
You would show that with its anti-Semitism, the reason why you believe Kamala Harris didn't choose Josh McCarthy.
Well, it's not what I believe. It's what the Democratic leadership has said. Many people said repeatedly that the reason Kamala Harris was going away from the Josh Shapiro selection is because they were worried about anti-Semitism. They were worried about certain voters. They were worried about some of the leaders and the grassroots activists in their party wouldn't take a Jewish nominee. I think it's despicable. I think it's disgusting, but that is right out of the words of many members of the Democratic leadership. And so
now this is interesting. Again, this is an interesting spin that they're taking with a lot of this stuff. My question is, how do you feel about that? This part right here, as far as that goes, as far as some of those sentiments goes, as we know about the uncommitted movement and a lot of the issues that people are having, especially in the Michigan area, as a result of the quote unquote issues going on overseas. Okay, sure. I think one of the things that was a little bit too much going on with that Shapiro guy is that he had a lot of shady scandals that were attached to his name. And I don't think that they wanted to deal with anybody that would open up Kamala Harris to any more political vulnerability and exposure than she already has, because she already has a failed 4 years, which is a huge exposure because everything that Biden did, she's going to be attached to and accountable for, in addition to everything that he had going on. So I think they wanted to do exactly what they did and get somebody who was a ghost. And that's what they did, was they got a political ghost in this unknown guy that they have named Tim Walz. If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, then give me a thumbs down. And again, shout out to everybody that's watching. I really appreciate you guys. We got 28 people watching. We got 28 likes. You guys got the 1-to-1 ratio popping off. I really appreciate it. If you guys could smash that like button and try to get us to 50, that would be amazing.
So now we have Tim Walz, but again, most importantly, we have Kamala Harris. Her policies have been a disaster, and they will remain so if the American people give her a promotion.
Senator, have you or Governor Walz reached out to one another? I know when you're going to be, you guys have reached out.
I actually, on the way to the flight in Cincinnati, I guess in northern Kentucky, I actually called Tim Walz. I left a voicemail. I didn't get him, but I just said, look, congratulations. Look forward to a robust conversation.
Now, I just want to make sure that everybody heard exactly what he said. I know you guys are here for the political stuff. I'm here for the validation. Did you hear what he said? I'm here to go to Cincinnati. I mean, I guess northern Kentucky. Just saying. Just saying.
In Cincinnati, I guess in northern Kentucky, I actually called Tim Walz. I left a voice.
I'm validated.
In Cincinnati, I guess in northern Kentucky, I actually called Tim Walz. I left a voicemail. I didn't get him, but I just said, look, congratulations. Look forward to a robust conversation and enjoy the ride. And maybe he'll call me back. Maybe he won't.
Senator, excuse me. The governor and Vice President Harris are expected to take a battleground state tour the next couple of days. Sure. Former President Trump will be making a public campaign appearance until Friday in Montana. Is that a missed opportunity?
No, look, I think I'm making a number of public appearances over the next few days just to drive home the fact that Kamala Harris's policy have been such a failure for normal Americans. I know the president's very busy over the next few days. One of the things you got to do is, of course, get out there and speak to people and speak to reporters. Final thing you have to do, of course, is raise the resources. And I know the president's very busy doing exactly that. So he and I are taking a divide and conquer strategy to this campaign. Sometimes we obviously do events together, but I think we're going to use the fact that we have two people who can both get out there and prosecute a message. We're going to hit the road, but I want to make just one final observation. I know most of you. I like all of you as people, or at least I like the ones of you that I know. I think that you guys have got to do a better job at actually forcing Kamala Harris to answer questions. This is a person who's been the presumptive Democrat nominee for.
Now, I might actually have to agree with that. And shout out to Quatman. Quatman says they still won't let Kamala Harris do interviews. And even though J.D. Vance didn't say it in those exact words, I believe that he's implying that with what he's saying about the media pressing her to, quote unquote, answer questions. Now, here's my question for you guys. You guys heard what J.D. Vance said. You guys see Quatman's comment up there on the screen. My question is, why do you all think that that's what's going on right now?
16 days. She hasn't taken a single real question from a reporter. The American people deserve to get to know the people who want to lead them. And I think it's shameful for Kamala Harris, but increasingly for the media, that she's taking a basement strategy of running from reporters instead of getting in front of them, answering tough questions about her record, and letting the American people know who she is. President Trump and I take hostile questions. We take non-hostile questions. We get out there and talk to people because we respect the American people enough to want to persuade them and not to try to run from them. So I think you guys got to do a better job. That's my humble opinion.
Well,
Take it easy, guys. Thank you.
All right, so there's that. Now, I think he made a lot of good points. And I think it's going to be probably a pretty long time, if ever, before we hear Kamala Harris even acknowledge or address any of those. All right. Got an article here from the Detroit News. J.D. Vance labels Kamala Harris a chameleon, says GOP's immigration plans improve lives. Interesting critiques. When you hear somebody call Kamala Harris a chameleon, what are the ways that Kamala Harris could possibly be a chameleon? Because I agree. She seems like the kind of person who kind of doesn't really have her own shape. Like, she's a political shapeshifter. The reason why she got the new candidate that she has, Tim Walz, is because she wants to morph into a more moderate politician, because they've already attacked her on being one of the most liberal politicians. So one of the reasons why they got this individual, right, Tim Walz, is to mitigate some of that liberal risk that she has. Okay. Shout out to Deneen. Good to see you. So now here it says J.D. Vance, the Republican nominee for vice president, called Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris a chameleon whose words can't be trusted. Okay. Now, I think that Kamala Harris's words of promise cannot be trusted, but when she says she's definitely not going to do anything for a group of people, I don't know, like us, I think that we can kind of count on that. If you guys agree with that, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to Jesse. What's good with you, bro? And vowed that GOP efforts to combat illegal immigration would improve lives during a campaign stop Wednesday in Macomb County. All right. Standing in front of law enforcement officials, Vance spoke briefly at a press conference outside the Shelby Township Police Department. Then he took questions from members of the media for about 20 minutes. Asked about Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump, suggesting last week that Harris only recently wanted to be known as black, Vance, a U.S. senator from Ohio they are calling his children biracial, said the remark was totally inoffensive and an attack on Harris being a quote-unquote chameleon on policy. Harris's mother was Indian and her father was Jamaican. And as you guys can see in this last sentence here, there's literally nothing stated about black. Okay? And honestly, I don't think that I don't think that there was anything unfair about that critique and that questioning and that line of logic that Donald Trump used. And if you guys have not seen some of the videos that we've done surrounding that topic where we thoroughly look into these things, I would survive people to check that out and take some notes. Okay. She pretends to be one thing when she's in front of one audience. Vance added, she pretends to be something else when she's in front of another audience. I think that this is a accurate observation. Is this an accurate observation? I would go as far as to say that it is. She's fake, Vance added later. And the American people have to look at her record if we actually want to know how she stands on the issues, because her words simply can't be trusted. Now, like I said, when she plans on denying people benefits, then I believe that her words can be trusted. When she actually tries to manipulate and say that she's going to try to do something through doing something else, and she's going to do things that are going to improve certain things as long as she's just allowed to do X, Y, Z, which is nonsense and literally has a zero-sum effect, then I think she needs to be looked at. Now, here they call her a black woman. Harris is the first black woman and Asian American to serve as vice president. She'll appear at a rally in Wayne County with her new running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, later Wednesday night. All right. In a statement before Vance's event, Lavora Barnes, chairwoman of the Michigan Democratic Party, said Vance would only fearmonger and spread misinformation. Okay, so now here's my question. Out of what JD Vance has said and what we've looked at, I need everybody to tell me where the misinformation is. And YouTube manual reviewer, you're welcome to post a card after the video clearing up any misinformation that may have been reported or recorded in this video. I actually invite you and encourage you to do that. Okay. After JD Vance's stunt event this morning, Michiganders will see a drastically different campaign and a brighter vision for a future they can believe in when Vice President Kamala Harris and Governor Tim Walz take the stage in Detroit today. So now let me ask you guys a question. If you guys have heard about Tim Walz and Kamala Harris going to Detroit today, you guys heard about that? That's supposed to be happening. Make sure you guys show Brooklyn Queen some love. She hooked your boy up. You know what I'm saying? Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, or some ducks in the chat for Brooklyn Queen. She trying to get an ownership stake in the organization.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
Get the money, y'all. There's poor people around.
I'm rich, biatch.
I gotta holler at DSB. I gotta holler at DSB, Black Spider, Miss Nisi, AB Promotions, and Kirk, because she trying to buy y'all out, man. She trying to buy y'all shares. She trying to aggressively get 51%. You know what I'm saying? I'm just letting y'all know I didn't have time to type up a 10K, so I'm screaming it unprofessionally in the middle of a live stream. You know what I'm saying? Most of Vance's comments Wednesday morning focused on the subject of illegal immigration, which is something that I know a lot of people are extremely concerned about. It's one of the issues that everybody is, paying very, 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 very close attention to. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to NY State of Mind. I definitely appreciate it, bro. Make sure you guys show NY State of Mind some love for funding the organization.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
Definitely appreciate you, bro. If federal officials do more to deport those in the U.S. without documentation and secure the southern border, U.S. residents' wages, ability to afford housing, and security would all improve, Vance contended. Now, based on all of the information that you all have, do you guys agree with that? If you all agree with that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree with that, then give me a thumbs down. I do believe in my heart that legal immigration can enrich this country, Vance said, but not illegal immigration, which is what Kamala Harris has done. All over this country, it's made us less safe. It's driven down wages for working Americans. It's made our communities less prosperous. We've got to stop this craziness. And I don't think that everybody is on board with everything about Trump and Vance. But I do think that if they get behind a message like that, where they talk about how destructive the migrant crisis has been all throughout the United States, I think that that's really something that is a Democrat vulnerability. And I think that a lot of people might be able to get behind them on that. There's a lot of people who are possibly getting off of the couch simply as a result of this. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tori. Yeah, this is up. Your boy was hanging upside down. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jada Informant. Now I haven't even had my cup of coffee yet. I'm gonna have my cup of coffee with the next live stream. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, we got to get Cameron's brother in one of the streams. Cameron said, my brother thinks the migrants will help black people. What do we think they'll help us with? Did you ask him when he said that? Did you ask him, well, bro, what you think they're gonna help us with? Oh man. Vance appeared to reference the story of Joel Quintana Dominguez, who was charged in Macomb County on July 19th with 3 counts of first-degree criminal sexual conduct with a victim under the age of 13, which carries up to life in prison if he's convicted. Shelby Township Police Sergeant Kevin Bailey previously told the Detroit News the investigation into Quintana Dominguez started July 15th when relatives of the 32-year-old claimed he'd sexually abused a family member. So he sexually abused his own family member, allegedly. The family came into the department and made a report, and our investigation started right away, Bailey said. Our detectives uncovered evidence that this abuse had happened multiple times with a family member. Now, let me ask you guys this question. If this individual was willing to do this to a family member, my question for you guys is, what do you guys think that this dude would do to somebody who's not a family member? What do you guys think that this guy would do to somebody that's not a family member? And shout out to everybody that's watching. I appreciate you guys. If you guys have not smashed that like button, please take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys have not hit that bell, please take a moment, hit that bell, and share the stream to your social media. We got 39 people watching. That's amazing. And we got 41 likes. Definitely appreciate it. Let's try to get the likes to 70. Detectives located him quickly and got him into custody. The detective said he looked like he was ready to leave. He had his clothes packed, and they said it didn't look like he was going to be around for long. Now, we know what happens, and we know this pattern. What was he about to do? More than likely, he was probably about to go somewhere he wasn't supposed to go. Probably about to try to get back over the border. Exactly. That's my point. Shout out to Win, Lose, or Rug. If he did that to his own family, what would he do to people that he don't even know from a different country? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Chameleon. Chameleon said harm. Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. Customs determined that he was here illegally and that he had been deported before, but he found his way back in. Vance mentioned a criminal who had been deported and came back and raped an 11-year-old girl. Now, I don't know if you guys saw the undocumented bros that I did yesterday, but if you watch the undocumented bro replay for about the first hour of the live stream, we literally talk about at least 3 or 4 cases where this was the very scenario. This very scenario fit about 3 or 4 of about the first hour of the video. You know what I'm saying? I cannot imagine having a government that cares so little about you that they're letting people who come into our communities get deported and then they come back in and then they rape our children, Vance said. And now you got the Democrats who are saying that this is misinformation. There's stuff that Vance says that's far out that I don't agree with at all, same as Trump. But this stuff right here, this is not it. You know what I'm saying? This is not it. I'll let you know when we get there. You know what I'm saying? We might not get there in this article, but I'm sure it'll happen at some point. But this ain't that part. We're gonna be, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep it 110. This is not that part. This is a policy choice of Kamala Harris to suspend deportations and let somebody like that into our community. Quintana Dominguez attorney Neil Brand said his client has been in the United States for a quote-unquote long time, although he said he wasn't sure how long. Well, if you don't know how long he was in there, how you know he was in there for a long time? I want you guys to take a moment, sit back, take a deep breath, and rationally think about that. I don't know how long you've been here, but I know you've been here a long time. Well, if you don't know how long you've been there, how can you say you've been there for a long time? If you don't know how long you've been there, then you don't have a time frame on whether you have zero information. So how can you, so with zero information, how can you say you've been there for a long time, or how can you say that you've been there for a short time? Like, that doesn't make any sense at all. But this is what this individual said. You know what I'm saying? So now here it said, Quintana Dominguez attorney Brand said the immigration issue isn't what's important right now. It's not. The charges he faces carry up to life in prison, and if he gets life, his immigration status will be a moot point, Brand said. Again, so he did something previous to that ended up getting him deported, right? So, you know, him doing something previous to that had him deported, and then he got back into the country. Yeah, sorry, attorney. I would actually say that this is absolutely an immigration issue. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to comment on ongoing litigation, but my team and I have investigated these allegations, and it points to a not guilty verdict, Brand said. I would think everyone would agree that no matter what his immigration status is, he's entitled to a fair trial, and he has to be found guilty in a court of law. That hasn't happened yet. He hasn't ever been bound over for trial. Now, let me ask you guys this question. Do you all think that because of the immigration litigation and bureaucracy in this country, that could possibly be one of the reasons why he was never bound over? Because we all know that when it comes to this country, the immigration processes and bureaucracy involved with immigration are one of the reasons why sometimes these people who are very clearly problematic not only never get arrested, but they never even end up making it to trial as a result of sanctuary city and liberal blockades to the immigration enforcement system. If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Among those who appeared with Vance on Wednesday morning were Macomb County Prosecutor Pete Lucido and James Tijanelli, president of the Police Officers Association of Michigan. After the event, Tijanelli said he wasn't certain whether crimes committed by illegal immigrants had gone up in Michigan because a person's immigration status wasn't always part of law enforcement screening process, which is just wild because ICE is law enforcement. So why would they not do that? Shout out to TD Media Group. TD Media Group said the only thing he's entitled to is jail time and deportation. Facts. If you guys agree with TD, throw some flames in the chat. If you guys don't agree with TD, give me a thumbs down and let me know why. After the event, Tijanelli said he wasn't certain whether crimes committed by illegal immigrants had gone up in Michigan because the person's immigration status wasn't always part of law enforcement screening process. I don't think we're always getting that information, Tijanelli said. So you're already not getting information about any of these people when they come in because they're undocumented. Then when they commit crimes, you have immigration blockades that stop you from being able to prosecute them appropriately, and you don't take the proper information because you can't do it. This is a bad situation. This is a situation that is unsustainable, and it's a situation that needs to be immediately looked into and fixed. And my feelings and my belief, based on the evidence that we've seen, is that the Harris administration is not even going to take interest in doing that. So my question is, do you all agree with the critiques that J.D. Vance had for Kamala Harris? Who do you think will be most effective at dealing with this issue? And is this an issue that is strong enough to push you off the couch, or will this issue keep you on the couch? Let me know in the comments section after the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Do not move a muscle. Stay where you are. It'll take you into the premiere window for the next live stream. When you get there, it's important. Hit that bell icon twice. Smash that like button. Drop a comment. Make sure you guys show love for the people who pumped the lifeblood into the channel. Shout out to Miss Nisi. Shout out to Black Spider. Shout out to Sybil. Shout out to Miss Nisi again. Definitely appreciate you. And shout out to NY State of Mind. Definitely appreciate it. And as always, ladies and gentlemen,
walk up in the life. Yeah, I'm really talking my shit like I'm really him. Hold up, look, walking this bitch like, hey. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, hey. I'm really him. Don't believe me? Come and see me. Got 3 wishes from my genie. Now I'm on your local TV. Y'all on tour. Got demons. Say she wanna come and see me when I'm in a local city. I'm like, pause though. Please step aside so they can see me. And I walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. On God. Walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. I'm the realest from my city. That's on Money, that's on Tiwi, that's on Mamas. Niggas don't believe me, come and see me. I been dodging all that fake. All these niggas working broke, but I been getting paid. All that know me from the street. Flexing for what feature, that's like every other week. Talk behind my back, I kick my feet up, have a seat. Cause at the end of the day, all these watching me as I walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. On God. Walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. On God. Walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. Hold up. Look, walking this bitch like, hey. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, hey. I'm really him, hold up.